Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judi in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make an easy recipe with green beans, garlic, and lemon. We're going to be using fresh green beans, very easy. In another video I'll do the same recipe but using frozen green beans. The recipe is in the description box below, so follow along. Alright, I have a skillet with a lid and it's heating up on medium heat. We want about a tablespoon of fat in this. If you want to do without and just use broth, you can do that. I'm going to divide it up. I have a half a tablespoon of butter and I'm going to use a half a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Kind of divide the two there. And I want to allow this butter to melt before we go any further, and we're going to put 2 cloves of garlic in here that I have finely chopped up, and we'll allow them to saute briefly. In the meantime, while that is still heating up, we're just about there, I have roughly 1 pound of fresh green beans that I've washed. I've cut both ends off and cut it into relatively large size pieces there. You don't need them to be any particular size, just whatever size you want on these. Okay, we're going to allow this garlic to saute very briefly. It does not need to saute very long. We don't want it to burn. And again, we're just a little over medium heat. And I do this in one pan like this, and I use as little water as possible, and you'll see where we go along the way. And it's already smelling so good. Alright, I do not want that to burn. So I'm going to go ahead and add our fresh green beans here. Just going to give this a little stir. And this is one of those recipes where you just add a little bit of water at a time. I don't like to see these things swimming in the water. It's not necessary. Just want to use a little bit at a time. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Or I'm not going to add pepper actually. This is roughly probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. You add whatever amount you're comfortable with. No salt if you don't want any salt. Perfectly fine. Now I'm going to add, because these are fresh green beans, they're going to soak up some water. I'm going to add just 2 or 3 tablespoons to start with. And just so you see, I am actually going to use a measuring spoon here. Alright, we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to cover it up and allow them to steam in that water just a little bit. And I'm going to watch it constantly and stir them very frequently and watch that water level, and maybe add another tablespoon or 2 of water at a time until they are fork tender to the degree of tenderness that I like. And so it's the same thing for you. You would cook it until it is as tender as you want them to be, and then we'll go from there. As you can see, these are cooking right along. They're not done to my liking yet, but there's a little bit of water in the pan, so I'm just going to allow it to keep on steaming, and in a little bit I'll add another tablespoon or so of water and just keep it going. They've been in there about 4 minutes so far. They're not quite done. You do want to watch these carefully and not allow that to go dry. So I'm going to add, I think, another 2 tablespoons of water. Cover it back up and allow it to keep on going. These green beans have cooked for all of about 7 minutes, and I can poke a fork through most of them. I am going to call this done. I like them to be crisp, tender, and not mushy. So there we go. Now you can't take them off the stove, but because my camera is set up here, we're going to leave them alone. I have a lemon wedge here. You could use a half a lemon, or you could use 2 wedges of lemon. I'm just squeezing some fresh lemon juice over this, and actually I'm getting a lot of juice out of this lemon wedge. So, you know, whatever amount of lemon juice you are comfortable with, I'd say up to the juice of a half a lemon really depending upon how much juice is in that particular piece of fruit. And we just want to give it a little bit of this juice so that we can brighten up the flavor some. There we go. And we're calling it done. It's that easy. And here are the finished green beans. This makes about 3 to 4 servings, maybe more than that, depending upon how big your servings are. But it's delicious, it's bright, it's easy. It does not take a lot of time to do, so don't be afraid to use fresh vegetables if you can get a hold of them. This is easy to make, so let me encourage you to give it a try sometime. The recipe is below. Let me know what you think in the comments section. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. I hope this helps. Bye-bye.